It'd be helpful if I turn on my microphone. Hey, guy. Oh, and there we go. You can tell it's been a minute. Hey, guys, and welcome back. It's been like 3 months, probably. Yeah, I don't think I streamed since the end of December, or the tail end of December. So, it's been quite some time. So, thank you all so much for joining me on today's stream. Um, just trying to do a couple of things real quick on my end. Okay. I got a new streaming setup, software wise, so just making sure that everything is running smoothly. It looks like it is. So, yay! So, I figure it's been a hot minute since I last streamed. Now is a good time to go ahead and do it. Not everything is perfect. As you can see, my avatar feels like it's leaning a lot toward the right. And that kind of bothers me, to be completely honest. But I'm just not going to let it. Um, we're going to go ahead and I've got a lot of auctions to get through, so I'm going to go ahead and just start doing these auctions. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn off the game sounds. Sorry, bye bye music. Um, but yeah, we'll go ahead and I'll turn off the game sounds. I did that already. I'm going to just post these auctions and I'm going to just basically chit chat about my life. We'll go until 3 p.m. Eastern, so that means we've got what is it? Basically an hour and a quarter. And we'll see how things go. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. But otherwise, let me go ahead and just catch y'all up on how I've been. I've been busy and not busy at the same time. It's kind of weird. If you caught the Instagram post, it's that phenomenon where you think you've got more time than because some things have just opened up essentially. You have a giant chunk of time throughout your day that is no longer there that you don't need to worry about anymore. And then all of a sudden, it's gone. Your time has magically been returned to you. So you take that time and you fill it up with things that you know you need to do. The if it wasn't for this, I could do that type of thing. And that actually ends up taking more time than you previously thought it would. And so that's kind of how my time went, especially when I became more serious about things like job hunting. As some of you know, I was, or I am unemployed, um, business needs and all that. So basically, I got downsized in fall of last year and have been looking for a new job ever since. Um, in October, I tried doing it myself. In November, I hooked up with a company that would help me uh, work on my resume and basically career coach type thing. And I basically worked with them through January. But in November, I also slowed down a bit to focus on the career coach stuff as well as what is this? Laughing Tarot, the Peerless. Okay, so it's a trinket. Um, yeah, I was working with a career coach, but I also focused on National Novel Writing Month. I called it the Novel Writing Challenge Month because of copyright things that with a core company that I was not happy with that folded not too long ago. Um, and yeah, so I did focus on writing my novel in November. I used that as kind of a joint fundraiser for for the last several years I've been supporting Baby DJ, and just because I'm unemployed, I didn't want to stop that, so I used that to go ahead and um, just like I did every year. encouraged me to keep writing, as well as donate to Baby DJ, or donate you guys to Baby DJ. All the revenue I got, I donated. I posted. I should have posted a receipt in Discord and in on YouTube posts. So that is there. And then after November, we get into December. The novel was finished, and I started editing it. But then toward the end of December, I'm not. My memory's a little fuzzy about what exactly the catalyst was, but I was having to cancel streams because either there was a lot going on as far as family coming into town, because I was hosting family for New Year's. I had some family already in town for the holidays, and it just got so busy that I couldn't find the time to squeeze in to do a stream, writing or otherwise. So I just canceled and canceled until I said, you know what, I'm going to have to put streaming on an indefinite hold. And then December became January, became February, March, and now we're in April. And hey, look at that, we're streaming finally again. Yeah, so I think this is honestly the most inconsistent I've been as a streamer. I think I haven't, even when I took breaks, I don't think it was a 4-month long break. So I apologize that that this break even occurred. But I do want to thank all of my followers and subscribers, my fans, my supporters, I guess is the bucket term I want to use. I want to thank all my supporters for sticking in there with me and being patient. I did actually structure my day around 3 major things, and then if creative pursuits was an option, then I would go ahead and do that. And there'd be days where I'm like, I don't know if I'm creative. I'll go ahead and stream. And by the time I actually decide to do that, there's not enough time to actually stream. So we got that. So my major 3 things that I would do for the day would be I would want to make sure I got my exercise in for the day. I would hit one of my Fitbit goals, and then I'd clean up the house or the yard or whatever for at least an hour, and then job hunt. And I wonder if you guys can guess which one took the longest chunk out of my day. Thanks, 2 Teaspoon. I appreciate that. But yeah, it was a slog. So, but today I've got basically I took today off from exercise, so I've been very good this past week. So I've treated myself to a day off of exercise, and I don't have any creative things on my to-do list today. I'm actually gotten pretty regimented with my to-do list for creative things. Unfortunately, editing isn't one of them. Sorry, readers of mine. But that's just how it came to be. Sorry. I was hoping that streaming more often, like I did in November, December, with my writing, was going to help push me, and being unemployed, push me to writing and editing more often. But that wasn't the. Oops, put that in the wrong spot. That wasn't the kick I needed, apparently. So I gotta find out what that kick will be for me. And but all that being said, I don't want to make any promises about streaming more in the future, because who knows what's going to happen in the future, right? I will try to work streaming in when I can, just like I was able to do it today, without sacrificing the things that are higher on my priority list. So, as much as I love hanging out with you guys, I do have things that I do need to do. I am overweight. I am in need of some physical rehabilitation, as it were. So, getting off my booty is more important than sitting at the computer for several hours a day. I am still working on that because I am addicted to the games. Um, but I can try to make a compromise. Like, I'm not doing it today, but once I'm done with say this character, which will be a bit because I got a lot of auctions to go through, or maybe once I'm done with 50 auctions or whatever, then I get up and walk around the house for a bit. There are always compromises. Um, but I forget what my point was. Sorry. But basically, I'm just get out here to say, you never know what the future is going to actually hold. So I want to try to stream more, but again, it's going to come after the big three. Actually, it's going to come after the big two. I am going to put a post on it on Instagram and YouTube in a couple of weeks. But I have accepted a job with another company. We're currently in the background check, preliminary stages checks. Everything looks like it's going to go. Ooh, excuse me. Everything looks like it's going to go through. So I'm very excited for that. Um, but until I'm on the eve of actually starting that first day, I don't want to make any huge announcements or promises or anything like that. But if all goes well, then maybe that large chunk of time that I took for job hunting will be able to be put back into something else. So, for example, I've been putting it into my creativity. I've been focusing on videos and things like that lately. Um, and just spending more time, doing more exercises and spending a little bit more time cleaning around the house. And honestly, I did take a couple of days and took the opportunity to actually just rest because when you're job hunting, you don't, and you're like actively spending 3 or 4 hours a day just updating a resume to submit it to get somebody to tell you, sorry, we're gonna go with somebody else. It's soul sucking. Um, and so I did spend a few days, after doing my exercise and my house chores, just sitting down and going, I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to do what I want to do. So that was honestly kind of freeing. I'm going to put it that way. But now we're getting into like Easter's this weekend, so I've been focusing on like setting up the house for Easter, and we're not hosting, thank goodness, but we did recently host my mother-in-law's birthday. My son's got a graduation coming up soon. We've got a string of birthdays coming up around the corner that we're going to basically celebrate in the next couple of weeks. We've got family coming in from out of town. So it is going to be busy in a good way. Not as stressful as job hunting. So there will be my time taken up with that. But it's all love there. So I'm not upset at that at all. But when the job does start, I'm not sure exactly what my schedule will look like as far as non work things. I have gotten into a pretty good groove with exercise, so I'm reluctant to give that up. I might just wake up earlier than normal and just try to get it done, even if I don't hit my Fitbit goals. Just push in an hour of whatever. I do a randomized list of exercises as long as my body will allow it. Um, so that's so that's something I might do, or I just might exercise at the end of the day. That's also a possibility. Although more people are home at the end of the day, and I don't like exercising when people are home, so it's a trade-off. And I could just go back to just walking, but I don't want to do that either because I found that a mixture of walking and doing a bit of weight work um, makes me feel better anyway. Like there's at the end of the exercise, like when I do some weights, it's like my arms feel like they're jelly, but it's like an accomplished type of jelly. I don't. It's weird to describe. Um, it's, I guess, a dopamine hit, if you will. Um, and I don't know what else. So we got that, and then the house chores. Well, I guess I'll just have to be, and the house isn't going to fall apart if I don't do the house chores on a regular basis. I'm just going to have to, instead of doing like one or two tasks in about an hour, I'm going to have to go ahead and maybe allow myself to do 3 or 4 tasks in like 2 hours. Just make a day of it, and maybe turn on music and incorporate dancing so I can fold both into the same thing. That's what I usually do with my laundry anyway. My laundry is incorporated into exercise. I can do other house chores with it too. With exercise too. So maybe I'll do something creative like that. I'll figure it out. And then the creative stuff. Before my job downsized, I was doing my creative stuff mostly on Saturdays. When I say creative stuff, I mean video creation, editing, and things like that, along with the streaming. I would do the videos in the morning, streaming in the afternoon. I might go back to that. That means that videos will probably be put out on a slower schedule than before. Or I did increase my video output schedule. So, and I recently got back into doing like the tips and tricks and the Tuesday videos, but those will probably be slowed down again, especially the Grand Blue Fantasy videos. I've been considering putting those into their own channel. Just because I don't know, it feels weird having like the Grand Blue Fantasy stuff mixed in with the tips and trick stuff, especially since the tips and trick stuff isn't inherently all Grand Blue Fantasy. So I'm just wondering if diversifying might be helpful. The new job feels like it's going to be somewhat similar to my old job, where I can do things like at least record footage while I'm, not looking at my main PC. But at the same time, I'm not going to make any promises until I get into the midst of it. So we shall see. But tell me, how have y'all been? Let me know how you guys are doing. I missed a lot of the interactions that we used to have, and I can see that there's definitely a lot less people here than there were when I stopped streaming. So if there's not, there's not, and that's perfectly understandable. I'm not going to hold that against anyone. But for the rest of the time, looks like we got a little less than an hour together. So for the rest of the time, I'm just basically going to be doing this auction house stuff. We've got over 1,000 auctions to do, so it'll probably take us the time to go between to finish off the mailbox basically, and we still have things expiring even as we're talking. So that's great. And as you can see, I'm not posting everything, just because I think I explained it in one of my videos for November writing month, or in December, where basically I I want my current value to match the token price, and if it doesn't match the token price, then I don't post everything. And so since I've got 100,000 gold plus, then I'm just posting things that have 100 gold or greater value. Sometimes if like this lucky seat, I call it the lucky seat, has an item that's less than 100 gold, then I'll go ahead and post it if there's nothing else to post. But just now you saw that it was empty, so when I consolidated or collapsed the bags a little bit, this headband jumped up. This headband's under 100 gold, so it won't go through the normal post, so it'll be manually posted. I know it's a lot. It's kind of a lot of convoluted, but it is what it is. I do want to go ahead and also call out that I did stop sharing the chat on the screen, just because I feel like in order for it to be readable, or at least what I think is readable for the average viewer, it takes up a lot of real estate, and I don't think that was necessary. Plus, the original goal for it was for my Twitch chat and my YouTube chats to see what the other chats were saying and respond to it, and that honestly wasn't happening. So, like, I would have people move over from Twitch chat to YouTube chat to talk to each other instead of going through the screen, which I guess it kind of makes sense. But I ultimately determined that there's no need for a on-screen chat, so it is no longer there, I guess. Yeah. And I did get rid of and so the last time I used this particular streaming setup, when I say setup, I mean like just the canvas and the decorations and all. It was around October, so spooky season time. And I think I got rid of most of it, but just a heads up, you might see a spider crawling across the screen at some point. You may or may not, who knows, but still. Nice, CP. Sorry, I was just reading somebody's text. It's all good though. I'll address that in a couple minutes. Well, I'll address that at round 3. When I get off of stream because it's not time sensitive. Also, my kiddo is coming home for the Easter weekend, so that's one reason why I am jumping off at 3. So that will be exciting. And for those of us, or for those in Twitch chat who are not Turbo members, it looks like there is an ad starting in about 5 minutes. Just so you guys are aware. I honestly kind of miss playing music on a stream. I'm not gonna lie. If I do get back into streaming regularly, I'm gonna probably get somebody to help me figure out the whole audio track thing. I know there's tons of videos on it on YouTube. This honestly kind of Greek to me. So I know you can set like Spotify or something to be like track 2 and just don't stream your track 2 to YouTube. I can't figure it out. I'm gonna have to do some testing and hope that I don't get myself banned from YouTube in the meantime. I kind of wish YouTube had customer service that I could reach out to about it. Like, hey, YouTube, I'm about to do some testing to make sure music doesn't stream through this. Is there a way that You can just ignore me for the next 5 to 10 minutes while I do this testing. I promise I'll delete everything once it's done. I promise everything will be unlisted and I'll delete it once it's done. Or even private. Private would be even better. Of course, that I don't actually have Spotify on my computer anymore. Now that I think about it, I updated my computer last year, right before the downsizing. Um, and I don't think I brought Spotify over. I'm gonna have to re-download that. Huh. I guess it's just a couple of things to consider. When I was doing NaNoWriMo, the writing challenge, I I was using a lot of lo-fi YouTube channels, and I appreciate them. I still use them periodically when I just want some background noise when I'm focusing on edits or something. Um, but I don't think I want to use them like all the time. And I do legit miss my music, so this might be something worth looking into in the future. What did I sell? The Nullstone. Makes sense. I'm currently in the process of updating some of my um, prices. So I'm going to. And one of the things that I want to do is take, say Nullstone is worth 100 gold, or the lowest price is 100 gold, and the next highest price is 100, and I don't think there is a way to do that within TSM, so I might just have to do it a different way. But if I were to manually post the Nullstone, I would post it at the second highest price as opposed to the highest price. So what I might do for materials anyway, and depending on the quality of the material, I know that really doesn't matter. It hasn't mattered in several expansions, but I might still do it just based off quality. Is like uncommon goods. I'll do it at min price. Uncommon goods with 1 star, it would be min price plus 1%, and then 3 stars would be min price plus 3% or something like that. And then uncommon would be 5% or base 5%, and rare goods, green or blue goods would be 10%, and then epics would be min price plus 50%. And then if there's no minimum on the realm, which would be really weird considering materials are region wide, then it would be, yeah, there, that doesn't make sense. It would be either min buyout or region average. That's what I want to do eventually. I also want to, and I know I haven't been doing my streams lately. I know I literally said it's tough for me to get my writing streams done or even started to get my butt in gear for writing or even a writing stream. I feel like my writing is vastly improved. Not my writing isn't improved, but my writing habits, me writing in general, my writing actions, I guess is the way to put it, are vastly improved when I'm streaming. So I'm just trying to think, if I do stream more frequently, do I want to do a writing stream? Or do I want to do a gaming? Do I want to do more girly stuff like makeup or whatever. I'm not going to put my well. I try not to stream when family is home, so maybe I can go ahead and still do like camera streams. You just have to pardon my messy background. Um, but no, camera streams are for certain goals. We haven't quite hit those goals in a minute. Actually, I need to revisit the numbers because I actually didn't pay attention to that at all today. Um, but yeah, just do some, just just chatting streams or gaming streams or writing. I guess those are the main three that I do anyway. Um, Especially because, well, did I stop? I'm trying to think back. I know I was doing like Sunday gotcha game days for a while there, where I would just do all my gotchas real quick in a stream, and then transition it to something like WoW or something else. Um, oh, I didn't. Oh wait, today's not Sunday. Uh, but and then for some reason I stopped doing it. I don't recall off the top of my head why. I'm actually going to take a look because I know I made a Facebook post about it. So let's see my posts. All right, over 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Oh, jeez, yeah. All right, so about 3 months ago, I made the announcement that taking the week of Christmas off of streaming and not sure when I'm streaming again, and that was pretty much the last time I streamed. It looks like. Okay, I'm just looking at stuff. Straw poll, straw poll. All right, so from when I was doing the writing, I've got polls up. 6 months ago, I was still doing the gotchas videos. So 7 months ago, I won't be able to stream as much or as effectively for the foreseeable future. 6 months ago, it looks like I may be able to stream more frequently, but not for quite as long. So there we go. All right, so I was streaming regularly with the Gotcha Game Sundays on up until September. Okay, yep, so that's pretty much it. I'm going to just eat that. So basically, you did the Gotcha Sunday streams in September. Yeah, I was doing Saturday Steam stream Saturday and Gotcha Game Sunday, and then Monday was just regular stream. Um, this is me just brainstorming a little bit. Back to the game. Sorry. Um, I will probably do something like story time Saturday, and then game time Sunday, and maybe just do a gotcha pull and have that, do like I did then again. Um, Pardon the noises. I adjusted my chair. Um, oh, that felt good to do. But yeah, the gotcha game Saturdays, I was just me playing, like, for example, another Eden and doing a draw first, and then playing some of the another Eden story or some of the side stories. I kind of liked that, and it helped me get through the stories of the game because most of the time when I play my gotcha games, I'm not doing the story. I'm just going through all the events. So that'll be nice if I get back into that. I like that idea. Um, but then like when I play games like World of Warcraft, or if I get back into Final Fantasy, when I get back into Final Fantasy, um, who knows? Maybe the Shadow knows. And if you guys get that reference, you are just like me and old. Um, or like old pop references. That's fine too. Um, but yeah. I mean, because so the reason why I had Monday streams was because way back when I had Mondays off, and then I had half days Mondays, so I was still able to stream on Mondays. Now I'm no, you don't need that. I just need to post you. Now I'm just going to be working regular 40-hour bankers hours ish. So basically, I'll have 2 days well, 2 days as my days off, and then I don't know. I mean, I do know, but I don't know. You know? Sorry, my brain's just going everywhere, but also being fuzzy, so that's on me. But yeah, I think it'll just depend on how the first few weeks go when it comes to the yob. Um, so what I think I'll do, and don't write this in blood or anything like that because I'm not sure if I will be able to even start trying to stick to it. Oh hey, look, a sale. I like it when I run into sales. Um, what I think I'll do is just for the time being, as long as I have the free time, stick to my current plan. Get my major two done, the exercise and the fitness. Do some content creation. I'll try to get some writing into the mix too. Um, just because I do want to finish that story, and I know that a lot of people were waiting on it. Um, and it's free to the public, so it's not like people have like pre-ordered or anything. Um, but I'll try to get that stuff, some of that, a bunch more stuff like pre-cranked out before I start work. And then when it comes time to like Saturday, I will like, and then after work, it's just going to be me decompressing with family. Um, and then and the weekend after my first week is probably going to be another family filled weekend because we got, like I said at the start of the stream, that's going to be very heavily like I said there's a lot of birthdays coming up. That is included in that. There's going to be a lot of birthdays that weekend. Um, so, oh wow, I need to update a few things. Oh, my bot still has the holiday stuff on. Anyway, as I was saying, um, so yeah, for the first weekend after my job starts, it'll probably be busy with birthday plans. Um, but I'll basically just focus on getting some videos recorded and or edited. Might do 1 week of recording, 1 week of editing, flip flop back and forth, just record more than I normally do. And then if I feel like I've got time in the afternoons, say after lunch, which is when I usually like to go live, like I did today, um, go ahead and go live and stream for a bit. Do some writing, do some gaming. It won't be Steam Stream Saturdays anymore. I kind of realized that my Steam catalog isn't that huge, and um, yeah, there weren't a lot of options sometimes when I was going through the catalog. Um, and then Saturday Sundays will be Gotcha Game Sundays. I'll do a poll um, for the week, and I got a bunch of Gotcha games that I play. I think I've met the threshold where I can do live streaming on the YouTubes. If I don't, then I'll have to figure something else out. But if I can stream games on YouTube's on my phone rather, so things like oh that is funny. Someone just commented on my going live stream post asking why I haven't been going live recently. Um, well, I'll just respond to them in once we're done here. But um, yeah, so hopefully we can figure something out that I'll be able to rearrange things without losing productivity, but I'm sure there will probably be some productivity lost if I'm going to be honest. So it is what it is. Let's see. Alrighty. Okay, so but yeah, some people might say, why don't you just stream after work? And I don't like to stream when my family is home, so I don't want to. When my family's home, that's family time. So that's a huge thing for me is I don't want to, like, if my And there are some nights when, it's just me and the hubby doing our own thing, but those aren't exactly pre-planned. So it's like, hey, do you want to do something? Sure. And then we do something. And if I'm streaming, he won't want to ask, and I won't want to ask because I'm in the middle of streaming. So I want to keep myself open for those days. But hopefully someday, I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry. But there are some days where I'm pretty sure it'll be maybe he'll have to work late or something, and I can stream like maybe for 30 minutes or something. In that case, I gotta figure out something fun to do in 30 minutes because I know you guys don't want to just stream in and watch me do auction house stuff for 30 minutes. That's like today's stream is mostly a catch up stream, honestly. The auction house thing is just me multitasking. Um, there's lots of stuff that I can do in 30 minutes. Maybe I'll do like a gotcha stream or something, or maybe I'll do like Infinity Nikki, or I don't know. Those are down the road questions anyway. Not something that I need to worry about right now. If any of y'all are fans of Student Albatross, he does some things like lockbox opening videos or things like that. Maybe I'll do like a lockbox opening stream, or something. How many lockboxes can I open in 30 minutes, or how many? Like, what can I get in 30 minutes? That'll be fun, actually. That actually might be pretty cool too. I don't hate the thought. And I do need a normal, like, in my brain, I don't like to do a live stream if I can't do it for like an hour or more. But I do know that there are a lot of people who do just pop in for 20 minutes to an hour. Like, no, they don't want to stream for more than an hour. And they're successful. So, in my brain, I'm thinking, why not? Now, granted, those people are also highly specialized and have a decent following, whereas I'm not specialized. I do all the things. So yeah, so I'm so there is that. But I have to get over that hurdle of just being too hesitant to do it. So one thing at a time. And oh, you know what I really would like to do? Maybe I'll do this. I'm working on a program type thing. I'm not a programmer by any means. So I'm utilizing like Google Sheets and things like that. But I'm working on essentially a calorie tracker. And what I wanted it to do is like what I envision doing is taking like all sorts of food data. It seems like I'm gonna have to create my own database for it because because a lot of food databases, I guess, don't like their data being pulled or called directly, so it's weird. I don't know. You would think that for the interest of health, that a lot of companies wouldn't mind, sharing their data, but it is what it is. Or maybe I just haven't hit the right one. But anyway, so I've got a couple of spreadsheets that I've got set up. One just for ingredients, one for like pre-made foods like snack chips or bagged rice or bagged flavored rice, things like that. Um, and where was I? And snack chips and things like that. And the and then basically there's going to be another sheet that takes the combination of those items, and so I can create meals from it. So like a peanut butter sandwich would be 2 slices of bread and 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Peanut butter sandwich. And it takes that and it's basically predefined for me. So I have my ingredients, I have my prepackaged meals, and then I have my fully made meals in its own sheet, that uses the data from those other sheets and creates a nutrient listing of that particular meal. So a sandwich, peanut butter sandwich, is 2 slices of bread, or a slice of bread times two, plus a tablespoon of peanut butter times two, and that's the calories, or basically the output. And so I got that third sheet that I'm currently working on. That's a forever work in progress, as I realize new things that I want to put on there. And then after that's in a good place, I want to create the tracker I mentioned a moment ago, where I take the sorry, my brain's kind of futzing right now. So I take the or basically it'll allow me to input, what did you have for breakfast? I didn't have anything for breakfast, maybe a cup of coffee. It'll put in the calories for coffee. And then it'll say, what did you have for lunch? And it'll say peanut butter sandwich, and just type in peanut butter sandwich, and it autofills that stuff in. So I'm currently working on the ingredients in the meal setups. And then when I get to a good place, I want to take that tracker and I want to develop the tracker. But a key element of developing the tracker is making sure that it's a day-to-day tracker and not something I just have to erase and restart every day. So that's going to be tricky. And I'm currently learning SQL. I have learned SQL, but I'm currently trying to figure out ways to utilize it so that I can call on it, or I don't know. I actually haven't used it in a practical setting yet, to be quite honest. Maybe I can use Python to call on it without having to download a whole export. But anyway, I digress. The without having whole batches of sheets, go ahead and go in and just import the files as needed, maybe once a month or whatever, just to make sure nothing new has been added or removed. And then when I add nutrition data, it just checks it from the SQL file. I'm not entirely certain there. But anyway, that plan of mine, that's I tangented kind of hard. But the idea was, if I do a stream, like I was telling you guys earlier, that one of my stream ideas, a few of my stream ideas was gaming or just chatting or writing. One of them could be working on that project. If I could combine my self improvement with streaming, that would be amazing. Because I know, if you guys know or not, I have a Kofi goal. Kofi, and the goal is to get a license for Excel. So, actually, it might have changed. I think I might have changed it when I ran some problems with our cat. No. No, it's still there. I might. So I want to get some licensing for Excel so I can download Excel and learn some nifty Excel stuff. And then ideally learn it while I'm streaming and basically have you guys code along with me. I think personally that sounds kind of fascinating. At the same time, maybe it's a lot. I don't know. I know I'm not the only one that gets excited for like new formulas and things like that, but I don't know if my stream is for that. Plus, I was saying earlier, I'm very varied when it comes to what I stream, even among my game streams. So I don't know if that just dilutes the potential viewer pool further. I don't know. But I welcome feedback. If you guys are watching this on VOD or something, go ahead and hit me up on YouTube in the comments on YouTube, or throw a like, or well, please throw a like regardless. But yeah, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and throw a comment down below about what kind of if you're on replay crew anyway, throw a comment down below if you have any ideas on streams that you would like to see if they're not gaming. Do you want to do writing? Do you want to see writing? Do you want to see coding, or just like more just chatting, chitty chat chat type streams? Um, and Twitch, there's no way to really leave a comment after the fact, so sorry, Twitch powers that be. But if you do want to leave me a comment, you can go ahead and go to my YouTube, and in the comments, just look for the latest post, and you can say, hey, I was just watching your recent video, yada yada yada, and share your feedbacks there. Or you can go to Instagram and make a comment on my latest post too. I am slow at posting on Instagram as well. Yeah, those are just some ideas I've been spitballing around for a bit. Haven't really done much, though, again, my other commitments have made streaming, basically push streaming down the list. And yeah, it is what it is. But hopefully I can get back into it. I do miss the interactions. I have been getting, or I haven't been getting into LawTube. I've been into LawTube for like a year or two at this point. There's some trials coming up, and part of me like fiddles with playing the idea of being the the unofficial juror or something like that, or the opinionated viewer. But I honestly, my opinions aren't strong enough for stuff like that, to be quite honest. And I enjoy watching my commentators. So if I were to watch a trial without while being opinionated, I would be bored because I would want to go in without pre-knowledge, and then I would be like, "Oh, this is boring. I don't think I like watching this without without other people to react off of." So I don't think that's a good avenue for myself anyway. About 15 minutes to go, guys. I will say, with the exception of some holiday things that I haven't taken off the board yet, today's stream has gone relatively smoothly. I'm proud of that. Also, my avatar still scooched over too far to the right, but again, I'll have to just fix that. At some other point, I'm actually considering like redoing my entire theme. That being said, that's going to require some time. Like I can do like quick themes, like I did for Christmas, the Christmas theme I did. I think it took less than 2 hours, but I didn't really put a lot of effort into it either. So, but if I were to redo my theme, it would probably, honestly, also incorporate into the videos because my videos, like if you watch my videos, they also give me a minute, guys. All right, guys. So I thought I had until at least 3, but you guys know I my son is coming home, and he is like literally right down the street. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up now. Um, you guys stay safe. Have a great Easter weekend. It was great seeing you guys again, and I'll see you next time. Just keep an eye out on the socials to know when that will be. Bye. Apparently, my